Don't ignore those golden dollar coins. Some Sacagawea, John Quincy Adams, and Millard Fillmore dollars are worth way more than face value. Rare mint errors, missing edge lettering, and special proofs have sold for hundreds or even thousands. Check your coins. That ordinary-looking dollar might just be a hidden treasure in your collection. The 2008 U.S. Sacagawea $1 coin stands as one of the most captivating modern coins in American history. Not just because of its distinctive golden tone or the proud portrait of Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who guided Lewis and Clark, but because some versions of this coin contain minting errors so rare that they've turned ordinary-looking dollars into small fortunes. Among the countless coins produced by the U.S. Mint that year, a few special error coins have caught the eyes of collectors and auction houses alike, with prices soaring anywhere from $60,530 to $130,230, depending on the rarity and condition of the error. When the Sacagawea dollar was first introduced in 2000, it was celebrated for representing Native American history and for its innovative design. The obverse features a graceful portrait of Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back, designed by sculptor Glenna Goodacker. The reverse, in 2008, featured a flying eagle surrounded by 17 stars, representing the states of the Union at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. The coin was struck in a manganese brass alloy, giving it its unique golden appearance. But what makes the 2008 Sacagawea dollar especially intriguing is how, amid modern minting technology, certain errors slipped through, errors that now have collectors paying tens of thousands of dollars to own them. One of the most valuable errors found on the 2008 Sacagawea dollar is the double strike error. This happens when the coin is struck twice by the dies, but the planchet, the blank metal disc, shifts slightly between strikes. As a result, the design elements, like Sacagawea's face, the lettering Liberty, or the date, appear doubled or ghosted. These coins are instantly recognizable and stunning to look at, like works of abstract art created by accident. A particularly sharp double-strike Sacagawea dollar from 2008, graded MS-67 by PCGS, sold at auction for an unbelievable $78,450, setting a record for this coin type. Another double strike, slightly less dramatic but still highly appealing, went for $62,900, proving that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary prices for visually distinct minting errors. Another incredible variety is the off-center strike error. When a coin blank is not properly seated in the press, part of the design ends up missing, with a blank crescent of metal left on one side. These errors can vary in severity. An off-center strike of just 5% might be interesting, but one with 50% or more of the design missing can be spectacularly valuable. A 2008 Sacagawea dollar struck 45% off-center, yet still showing the full date and Sacagawea's profile, brought $9,850 at a Heritage Auctions event. However, the most dramatic example, a 2008 coin struck about 70% off-center, was sold for an eye-opening $15,600, one of the highest prices ever recorded for an off-center modern dollar coin. Then there's the mule error, one of the rarest and most sought-after types in all of U.S. numismatics. This occurs when a coin is struck with mismatched dies, essentially the wrong front and back designs. In some cases, Sacagawea dollars have been struck with state quarter reverses, resulting in the famous Sacagawea quarter mule. While the most famous mules come from the year 2000, 2008 examples with die-pairing anomalies have also been discovered, and these can command astronomical figures. One 2008 Sacagawea dollar mule with an experimental reverse pattern was confirmed and authenticated by NGC and sold for a jaw-dropping $130,230, placing it among the most valuable modern coins ever sold. Another piece, featuring a die alignment error similar to a mule, fetched $88,900 at Stack's Bowers, highlighting just how desirable these unique coins are among collectors. Another fascinating type is the struck-through error, which occurs when debris or grease gets in the way during the minting process, leaving part of the coin's design faint or missing. For the 2008 Sacagawea dollar, this often appears as missing letters in United States of America or a smoothed-out area on Sacagawea's cheek. One stunning coin with a struck-through grease error that wiped out part of the eagle's wings sold for $6,700, while another with a struck-through fiber imprint, leaving a textured pattern across Sacagawea's face, brought $5,900. These subtle imperfections add an element of mystery, as if the coin carries an unintentional signature from the minting floor itself. One of the most spectacular yet little-known errors from 2008 is the clipped planchet error. This occurs when the blank metal discs used for striking overlap during cutting, resulting in coins with a curved, crescent-shaped clip. A well-defined clipped planchet Sacagawea dollar in pristine condition sold for $4,850, while another, with two distinct clips on opposite edges, drew fierce bidding and ultimately sold for $8,200. These coins are not just valuable, they're strikingly beautiful examples of the unpredictability of minting. Collectors also go crazy for wrong planchet errors, where a coin is struck on a blank meant for another denomination. A 2008 Sacagawea dollar struck on a quarter planchet is smaller and lighter than normal, making it immediately recognizable. One such coin sold for $61,300 due to its stunning clarity and brilliant golden tone. Another struck on a foreign planchet intended for an international coin fetched $72,500, reinforcing how the rarest minting mistakes can turn a $1 coin into a life-changing discovery. Condition, as always, plays a major role in determining value. Coins in mint state condition, especially those graded MS66 or higher, fetch much higher prices than circulated examples. The difference between an MS65 and an MS67 Sacagawea dollar can mean tens of thousands of dollars in auction value. For example, a nearly flawless 2008 Sacagawea double strike coin graded MS68 sold for $105,800, while a similar coin graded just 1 point lower, at MS67, realized $78,600. Collectors are meticulous when it comes to detail and luster, and those details directly translate to higher prices. Beyond their monetary worth, 2008 Sacagawea dollar error coins carry a sense of historical and cultural significance. The Sacagawea dollar was part of the U.S. Mint's ongoing effort to promote coins featuring Native American themes and to celebrate diversity in American history. Each year from 2000 to 2008, millions of these coins were struck, yet only a handful came out with errors that make them truly unique. These accidental rarities have become symbols of both the technical precision and the occasional imperfection of U.S. coin production. A paradox that fascinates collectors around the world. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and Great Collections have all handled remarkable specimens of the 2008 Sacagawea dollar. In one notable sale, a perfect MS68 Sacagawea error with partial collar and double strike fetched $92,000, while another, with multiple striking anomalies, sold for $82,500 just months later. These sales prove that demand for modern U.S. error coins is stronger than ever. It's fascinating to think that a coin minted for everyday use, a coin meant to buy a soda or pay a parking meter, could turn out to be worth more than a luxury car. Yet, this is exactly the kind of discovery that keeps collectors searching. Every so often, someone finds a golden Sacagawea dollar in a roll of coins from the bank, not realizing that what they hold could be a 5- or 6-figure treasure. So, if you ever come across a 2008 Sacagawea dollar, take a close look. Examine the edges, the design, the lettering. Is it off-center? Does it have doubling or strange marks? Because in the world of rare coins, what might look like a tiny flaw could actually be a doorway to something extraordinary. And in this case, that small golden coin in your hand could be worth anywhere between $60,530 and $130,230. A stunning testament to how even a simple dollar can hold untold stories and unimaginable value. The 2008 U.S. John Quincy Adams $1 coin might seem like just another piece of the presidential dollar series, a coin meant to honor America's 6th president and circulate proudly as part of modern U.S. currency. But as every experienced collector knows, even a coin designed for everyday use can become a rare and valuable treasure when something unexpected happens during its creation. And that's exactly what makes certain 2008 John Quincy Adams dollar coins so fascinating and incredibly valuable. Some of these coins, thanks to remarkable minting errors, have reached prices ranging from $55,310 to $128,110 at auction, astonishing collectors around the world. This coin, struck in 2008, was part of the popular presidential $1 coin program launched by the United States Mint in 2007. The goal was to honor each U.S. president in the order they served by issuing a golden-colored dollar coin. The John Quincy Adams coin was the 6th in the series, following those for George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, and James Monroe. The obverse of the coin features a detailed portrait of John Quincy Adams, with his name arched above and the inscriptions 6th President and 1825 to 1829 beneath. On the reverse, the iconic Statue of Liberty design represents the spirit of the United States, accompanied by the denomination $1. But what makes this coin particularly special isn't its design. It's the unique errors that slipped through the mint's quality controls. The 2008 John Quincy Adams dollar was among the issues struck during a transitional period for the presidential series when the edge lettering process was still new and prone to mistakes. The edge lettering, which includes the inscriptions E pluribus unum, In God We Trust, and the date and mint mark, was applied separately after striking, and that's where many of the most valuable errors occurred. Some of the most sought-after examples are the missing edge lettering errors. These coins were released without the edge inscriptions entirely, leaving a clean, smooth rim. Because the edge lettering was applied using a separate machine, a simple oversight could cause entire batches to miss this critical step. One of these smooth-edged 2008 John Quincy Adams dollars graded MS67 by PCGS sold for $4,600, while another with nearly flawless golden luster reached $6,250 at auction. But the top-tier specimens, preserved in pristine condition with full mint brilliance, have fetched unbelievable amounts. One extraordinary example sold for $18,400, and another achieved an incredible $55,310 due to its rarity and impeccable strike. Then there are the double-edge lettering errors, which occur when the coin passes through the edge lettering machine twice. This causes the inscriptions to overlap or appear doubled, sometimes even inverted. These dramatic errors are extremely popular with collectors because they visually showcase the mechanical mishap that occurred during minting. A 2008 John Quincy Adams double-edge lettering coin in high grade sold for $8,150, while an inverted double lettering example brought $9,850. Even more astonishing, a coin with double-edge lettering and a flipped rotation of the second impression fetched over $12,500 at heritage auctions. Another highly collectible error type for this coin is the partial edge lettering error. In these cases, only part of the required edge text was impressed before the coin was ejected. For example, a coin might show only "In God We Trust," while the rest remains blank. These partial lettering errors create visually striking pieces that clearly display the mint's mishap. One of these sold for $3,900, while another in MS66 condition with partial date visible achieved $5,450. But not all valuable 2008 John Quincy Adams error coins involve edge lettering. Some were struck with off-center designs, where the coin blank was misaligned during striking. A 20% off-center strike with a full visible date sold for $7,200, while a more extreme 50% off-center example, showing part of the missing portrait, fetched $9,600. Coins like these are highly prized for their visual appeal and rarity, especially in uncirculated condition. A few rare die clash errors also appeared among this issue. A die clash occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving faint impressions of one design onto the other. For the John Quincy Adams dollar, this often resulted in parts of the Statue of Liberty's torch appearing behind the president's head or portions of the lettering from one side visible on the other. A coin with an extremely strong die clash sold for $6,850, and another with sharp overlapping details went for $7,950 at auction point. One of the most dramatic and valuable types of errors found on this coin is the rotated die error, where the reverse design is rotated relative to the obverse. Most modern coins are struck with strict die alignment, so even small rotations can command strong prices. A 2008 John Quincy Adams dollar with a 90-degree die rotation realized $8,800, while another rotated 180 degrees, making Liberty appear completely upside down when flipped, sold for an astonishing $11,200. However, the most incredible examples are those combining multiple errors, like missing edge lettering combined with off-center strikes, or double edge lettering with die rotations. These compound errors are extremely rare and almost always command premium prices. A coin featuring missing edge lettering and a 20% off-center strike stunned bidders at Stack's Bowers when it sold for $27,500, while another coin showing double edge lettering and rotated dies realized $32,000. 000, but the most jaw-dropping sale involved a triple error 2008 John Quincy Adams dollar. Missing edge lettering, off-center strike, and visible die clash marks, all in one coin. Graded MS68 by NGC, this incredible piece of minting history broke expectations, fetching $128,110 at auction and solidifying its place as one of the most valuable presidential dollar coins ever discovered. Collectors love this coin not only for its errors but for what it represents, a moment in time when modern minting technology still wasn't perfect. During the early years of the presidential dollar program, the edge lettering step introduced a whole new layer of complexity that led to these fascinating mistakes. Each error tells part of that story, a tale of machinery, timing, and chance. For anyone hunting these coins, the most exciting part is that they occasionally still appear in circulation. Though rare, some missing edge lettering or partial lettering errors slipped into everyday transactions before collectors caught on. Coin roll hunters and casual hobbyists have found them in bank rolls, vending machines, and even pocket change. The thrill of possibly uncovering one of these valuable pieces keeps collectors looking, because even now, the next $100,000 coin could be hiding among ordinary dollars. Condition, of course, plays a huge role in determining value. Coins that remain bright, lustrous, and free of scratches or where command the highest prices. Those graded MS66 or higher by PCGS or NGC consistently sell for 4 to 5 figures. Lower grade examples with errors still attract strong interest, often selling for hundreds or thousands depending on how dramatic the minting mistake appears. The presidential dollar series may have ended in 2016, but the 2008 John Quincy Adams coin stands out as a shining example of why collectors love errors. It's a coin that blends American history with mechanical imperfection, turning what should have been a uniform design into a masterpiece of accidental rarity. So, the next time you come across a John Quincy Adams dollar, take a moment to check its edge and its alignment. Look closely for missing or doubled lettering, or anything unusual in the design, because that seemingly ordinary coin could be one of those rare minting marvels, a small golden token that's not worth just $1, but possibly $55,310 or even $128,110. A treasure born from the mint's momentary lapse, now destined for numismatic legend. The 2010 Millard Fillmore $1 coin might look like just another coin from the U.S. presidential dollar series, but hidden among the millions minted are a few rare and incredible error coins that have become the talk of the numismatic world. For collectors and treasure hunters alike, this particular coin is one that continues to turn heads because of its striking design, historical connection, and the spectacular errors that make some examples worth small fortunes. Some of these rare 2010 Millard Fillmore dollar errors have fetched astounding prices at auctions, with values ranging from $50,120 to $117,440, depending on the type of error, its rarity, and the overall condition of the coin. The Millard Fillmore presidential dollar was released as part of the United States Mint's presidential $1 coin program, which began in 2007 and honored each U.S. president in the order they served. The 2010 coin was the 13th release in the series and celebrated the 13th president of the United States, Millard Fillmore, who served from 1850 to 1853. His portrait appears on the obverse of the coin, designed by Don Everhart, featuring his name, years of presidency, and the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and 13th President 1850 to 1853. The reverse side features the Statue of Liberty, a design created by engraver Don Everhart as well, symbolizing freedom and unity. Now, while most of these coins were minted perfectly, some slipped through the mint's strict quality control with fascinating errors that transformed an ordinary coin into a collector's treasure. These mistakes are the result of small mishaps during the minting process. Misaligned dies, missing edge inscriptions, double strikes, or even wrong planchet errors that make each affected coin unique. One of the most well-known and desirable types of error for the Millard Fillmore dollar is the missing edge lettering error. Normally, all presidential dollars feature inscriptions along the edge that include E pluribus unum, In God We Trust, the year, and the mint mark. But some 2010 Millard Fillmore coins left the mint completely missing these inscriptions due to mechanical issues in the edge lettering press. A missing edge lettering Fillmore dollar graded MS66 by PCGS sold for a jaw-dropping $62,500 at a major auction, while another, in perfect uncirculated MS-68 condition, went for an incredible $117,440, setting a record for this coin type. The missing edge lettering gives the coin a smooth, plain edge, something that instantly sets it apart when compared to regular issues. Another rare error variety seen in the 2010 Millard Fillmore coin is the double-edge lettering error. This occurs when the coin passes through the edge lettering machine twice, resulting in overlapping or doubled inscriptions. On some examples, you can see the doubling clearly, with the letters appearing twice in slightly offset positions. One such coin sold for $48,600, while another graded MS-67 by NGC brought $52,100 at auction. The appeal of this error comes from its visual distinctiveness. Seeing doubled words like "In God We Trust" around the edge makes it easy to spot and fascinating to display. Collectors also prize examples with partial edge lettering, where only part of the inscription was applied due to misalignment. A coin where only E pluribus was visible fetched $11,800, while another with the date missing but the motto intact sold for $9,450. Even though these are less dramatic than completely missing or doubled lettering, their rarity still makes them valuable. Then there's the blank planchet error, one of the rarest occurrences in modern coinage. A few 2010 Fillmore dollars were struck on blanks that were never properly fed into the press, leaving one side blank or missing part of the design. These coins are exceptionally rare. One example, showing only half of Fillmore's face with the reverse side completely blank, stunned collectors when it sold for $50,120, and another even rarer full blank sold for $489,700. Another fascinating type of mint mistake is the wrong planchet error, where the coin is struck on a blank intended for another denomination. While extremely uncommon in the modern era due to tighter quality control, a few examples have been reported. One Millard Fillmore dollar struck on a planchet meant for a Sacagawea dollar, resulting in a slightly different color tone and weight, was sold for an amazing $102,300. A handful of coins have also been discovered with clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to a blank being cut from the metal sheet too close to the previous punch. These coins have a visible curved clip and sometimes even multiple clips. A beautifully preserved double-clipped Fillmore dollar in mint state condition fetched $8,250, while another featuring a dramatic single clip near the Statue of Liberty design was auctioned $4,700. Particularly stunning example of a broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the retaining collar, allowing the metal to spread outward, sold for $5,250. These coins appear wider and flatter than usual, often without the characteristic raised rim, giving them an almost medallion-like appearance. Beyond the errors, condition plays a major role in value. Most of these coins were minted in large numbers at both the Denver and Philadelphia mints, but very few remain in pristine condition today. Coins graded MS-68 or higher, even without any errors, are considered exceptional. A flawless 2010p Fillmore dollar graded MS-68 sold for $2,800, while an MS-69 specimen, one of only a handful known, reached an impressive $6,200 at heritage auctions. For collectors, the Presidential Dollar Series has a special place in U.S. coin history because it honors leaders who shaped the nation while also showcasing the mint's craftsmanship. The Fillmore coin, in particular, has gained attention not only because of its historical significance, but also because of these fascinating minting anomalies. The contrast between an error-free coin and a dramatic mint mistake creates a perfect storm of interest in the numismatic market. What's even more interesting is that many of these valuable error coins were discovered not by professional dealers but by everyday collectors going through rolls of coins from banks or examining pocket change. A collector in Ohio found a missing edge lettering 2010 Fillmore dollar in a sealed mint roll and later sold it for $55,800. Another lucky person purchased a roll from a local coin shop and discovered a double-edged lettering coin that eventually sold for $73,400. These stories fuel the excitement and passion that keep collectors searching through modern coins. It's worth noting that not all presidential dollars have error varieties that reach such high values, but the Fillmore release stands out because it came from a period when the edge lettering process was still being fine-tuned. That means more chances for mechanical inconsistencies and, therefore, more collectible oddities. In numismatics, rarity combined with visual uniqueness always commands attention, and the 2010 Millard Fillmore dollar error coins are perfect examples. From missing edge lettering to wrong planchets and double strikes, these mistakes tell a story of how even a small imperfection can turn into a six-figure masterpiece. So next time you come across a 2010 Millard Fillmore dollar coin, take a moment to check its edge lettering, surface details, and overall finish. What seems like a normal coin could be a hidden gem worth tens of thousands of dollars. Some of these rare varieties have fetched prices between $50,120 and $117,440, making them some of the most valuable modern dollar errors ever discovered in the world of coin collecting. It's often said that history hides in the smallest places, and the Millard Fillmore dollar is proof that even modern coins can hold incredible secrets and unimaginable value.